Hey, my name's Travis, and you're listening to the Happy Holy Hour. Let's get started.
Well, come on, you need a drink, partner. Expecting trouble? I'm always expecting trouble. What do you think you're smoking around here?
Stop it! You're acting like a child!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Welcome to the Happy Holy Hour. I'm Travis, and I'm here with my co-hosts Tyler and Jared. Since this is the first episode of the Happy Holy Hour, you might be wondering what this podcast is all about, why we decided to create it, and who the heck are these guys anyway. So we're just going to take a couple minutes to answer some of those questions that you might have.
Absolutely. So this podcast, as you know, is called the Happy Holy Hour, and we decided to name it that because we want to take some difficult topics that the church deals with, that Christians deal with, problems related to faith, and we wanted to approach it with a certain level of seriousness, but also with a level of, casual, like lightheartedness. So basically, we're just going to get together once a week, and we're going to talk about what's important to us, fellowship. We're going to talk about our faith, food, what we like to do for fun, whatever it is that comes up, we're going to talk about. So, let's get into it.
Now you know what we are. Let's talk about who we are. My name's Jared. I'm 24 years old. I have a beautiful wife and a baby on the way.
Aww.
Adorable.
My vocation is I'm a light technician. I spent 2 years at Word of Life Bible Institute and spent 8 years in the restaurant industry. Fun fact about me is that I have cooked for 8 years. I guess that would be a fun fact.
Oh, you were a chef.
Yeah, I was a chef.
And a really good one, too. I can attest to that.
So, what's your favorite thing to cook?
I would say Asian cuisine. I love making anything that's full of flavor, bright flavors.
That's really cool.
Yeah. The hobbies that I have, probably whittling, playing guitar, making coffee, and making good food. Yeah.
You're so cultured, Jared.
That's really neat.
And studying theology. I do love doing that.
What was your degree in from Word of Life?
Biblical studies.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
So you know stuff.
I know a couple things.
That's
here and
cool.
there. Yeah.
My name is Tyler. I'm 23. I graduated from college in 2018 with degrees in philosophy, political science, and sociology. I think a lot, but sometimes it's to my harm. I think too much. It gets me in trouble sometimes. I grew up in the church. I've been a Christian for a long time, or at least I've called myself a Christian for a long time. Sometimes life has a way of working out a little differently. But fun fact about myself, I used to play baseball for 17 years. And now I'm a musician, so I play in a couple of bands. I'm sure that'll come up on the podcast. I like to record stuff like this podcast. I would consider that a hobby of mine. Like Jared, you were talking about your hobbies. I don't make money off it yet, but maybe someday we will.
Hopefully, yeah. If everybody buys our merch and supports us.
Yeah, we have merch.
You know.
Go to our Facebook page and find it. It's pretty neat.
Selfless ad there. So my name is Travis. I am 23 years old. I also am married to a lovely wife. Her name is Bonnie, and we have 2 babies. We have twins, and they are just over 3 months old. Their names are Adeline and Clayton. So basically everything we do revolves around taking care of our little babies right now.
Before you go any
yes.
further, are your twins identical or fraternal?
They are fraternal. So it's a boy and a girl, so that automatically means they're fraternal.
Interesting.
They are very different. They look different, and they act different, and they have completely different personalities.
What a cool thing. I love twins.
It is. Yeah, they're a lot of work, but they're also a lot of fun. So we're really enjoying that right now. Enjoying fatherhood and parenting. It's a crazy adventure.
So let me ask you this question. How long have you been a father?
Yeah, so I have been a father since conception. So what is that?
Okay.
3 months plus 9 months.
There you go.
Yeah, so they're just over 3 months old. So I've been a father since they've been born. But
do twins run in your family?
They do not run on my side of the family, and we only found out after the fact, after we found out they were having twins, that they run on both of Bonnie's sides of the family.
Wow.
So that was a surprise. We were like, thank you for that. Thanks for not telling us. But yeah, so they run on both sides of her family. So
That's really interesting to me because my girlfriend is a fraternal twin.
yeah.
And I think in her, like, on both sides of her family, there are twins. So I'm waiting for it. Someday,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
when we get married and have kids, it's probably going to be twins.
Yeah, triplets probably.
So I gotta glean your wisdom.
Oh.
Triplet? You say triplets.
I can
I'll
see
give
that.
you all the wisdom.
All right.
I'll impart all my wisdom and tell you all the mistakes that I've made so you don't have to make them. Yeah, so a little bit about what I do now, my vocation. I'm a full-time missionary. I work at a year-round camp and conference center, and camping really runs in my blood. My parents are also full-time missionaries, and my dad was a camp director. My parents were camp planters overseas. They actually met at a Wilderness Boys Therapeutic Camp where they were on staff. So I have been a part of camping ministry my whole life. So I grew up a little bit overseas in Sri Lanka for a while, and then most of my life I grew up in upstate New York, which is basically Canada, where I'm from. So now I'm in PA. I've been here for a couple years now. Some fun facts about me. Let's see. I've had some crazy encounters with animals. I have raised multiple squirrels in my lifetime. Don't ask how it happened. It just kind of did and then kept happening.
I have to interject. Were these squirrels, did you consider them friends? Were they your friends?
Oh, well, you know what? I was single. Well, I was in a relationship, but I was not married at the time, so it was just me and the squirrels living together. So they were like my roommates at the time.
So-
Yeah,
So they were your squirrel friends?
they were my squirrel friends.
Nice.
Yeah,
Not to be confused with girlfriends.
Right.
not my now wife, who was my girlfriend. I don't think she'd appreciate that. But I released them. Yeah, it's actually legal to keep them as pets, so it's just rehabilitation until they were able to be released back into the wild. I've also owned birds. I've owned dogs. I've had some crazy encounters with wild animals. I touched a live beaver one time. So yeah.
Now, did you touch this beaver in northern New York?
I did.
Okay, that
Pretty
makes sense.
stereotypical. You know, when you're pretty much in Canada, you have to be around beavers, I guess.
That makes sense.
When you're ootin' a boot.
I was going to ask, is that beaver Canadian?
No, I think it's American through and through.
Okay, good.
Nice.
What I do for fun or some of my hobbies right now, because we have twins, I really don't have much free time for hobbies. But before I had twins, I used to do a lot of carpentry. I did blacksmithing, did hiking, anything outdoors, hunting. I like to play my banjo. I have attempted to play many instruments, and I'm a master of none. So my wife gets on me all the time because I collect instruments and then I don't learn how to play them, and I still have all of them.
Well, that's a hobby, collecting instruments.
That's right. It's a hobby my wife wishes I didn't have.
I play drums and guitar a little bit, but banjo is pretty cool.
You don't play drums a little bit. You are a professional drummer. I play drums a little bit, and I taught myself for like 2 years and could play like Back in Black by AC/DC, and that was it.
All right, well,
That's playing a little bit.
I humbly accept your correction.
Yes. I also played guitar a little bit and a few different types of drums a little bit, and mandolin a little bit, and banjo a little bit.
So you're going to start a new Mumford & Sons is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
basically.
Cool. So I wanted to run you guys through, what is this podcast? Why does it exist? Number one, we decided to make this podcast because we're best friends. We're three guys. We're actually planning a church together in the Southeast PA area, Pottstown, if you're familiar with it. But we just love spending time together. We love growing each other, closer to the Lord. And we're all avid podcast listeners. And as we've been listening to our podcasts, we found that there's not really many podcasts out there like the one we're trying to create, where, it's faith-based, but, a lot of the podcasts out there are very academic, or they don't take it seriously enough. So ideally, we're trying to strike it in the middle here, and we're going to see how we do. But we wanted to, make clear we don't have all the answers. We're not here, we're not a voice from on high trying to make something, happen. We're just having conversations. And the beauty of podcasting is we wanted to share our conversations with you because we think that's important. We want to hear your thoughts as well. So, if we talk about something and you have feedback, we'd love to get your feedback. We'd also love to get topics of conversation from you guys. We have our ideas and what we want to talk about, but we love to hear what your input is and what you would want to hear talked about.
Yeah, like Tyler said, we're not experts. What we talk about really is going to be things we are experiencing in everyday life, whether it be the struggles of everyday life, of family, of what we're dealing with as we plant our church in our different vocations. And so it's really important as we do these podcasts that we get your feedback. We want you to be part of everyday life with us, sharing what you're dealing with. We're going to be talking about our lives, the highs and lows. Sometimes we're going through some really difficult stuff, and we're probably going to talk a little bit about that, and also talk about some of the joys and the mountaintop experience that we're having as well. So we just appreciate it if you join us along for the ride. Follow us along on our Facebook page, on our Instagram page, on our other social media pages as they go up. Give us good ratings so we can get more exposure, and invite your friends along to join us. Yeah,
I think that's it. So that's going to do it for today. Until next time, stay happy, stay holy. I don't know if that's appropriate to say. We're still trying to figure this out, so give us a little bit of grace. So have a good day.
May the force be with you.
May the force be with you. This podcast will be launched in the spring of 2020. So subscribe, download, and more episodes will be headed your way shortly. Have a great day, everyone.